Prowess in battle is remarkable, as is your battle stance itself.
Jack, a technique known to few outside Kalir. Shall I teach you?
I'll pass, thank you. I prefer abjuration over acrobatics.
Doesn't work out, Laser. What if your kin fail you?
If I can reach the crash, my kin will provide. Any failure will be mine alone.
If you say so. Just don't expect me to put all my eggs in the same basket.
That expression must sound curious to a Githyanki ear, given the way they're birthed.
Ah, how sweet. I used to sneak out to play this with the lower city kids.
What's that?
Goblins ahead.
A war drum. One of those can summon fighters far and wide.
There's no time to waste.
Stop fidgeting!
Mustn't let anyone see.
Bloody walks!
Indolence breeds madness.
Them fleas, you filthy bugger!
Into the shadows.
Seek and you shall find me.
Not this again. What you
Doing over there? Tracing bird? Next time, Grib will be on guard, you trifle. Grib couldn't guard his nose from his fingers.
Oi! Thicko! This here's off limits! Get to the main gate, or I'll plug you full of arrows! Little blue people in my stew.
You sought a fight, and now you have one.
ready.
I don't fancy their chances.
On the victor's path.
Let's have a little fun.
On the move.
Need to act fast.
Allow me to demonstrate. On my way.
This is my time. I've found my mark.
Cover absolute blessings!
Death is but a word away.
The blade will not bend.
tempest I will raise.
No time to waste.
Let's see what we have here.
Mistra Rill. Knight to King 5.
No holding back. No time to waste.
Make way.
Onward.
A tale for the ages. Of course.
Battle favors the fearless.
Forever dauntless.
I cannot die. Please help me.
On the move.
Creator. Destroyer.
Forever dauntless. Might will prevail.
Death, you will not take me. On the move.
Making my move.
My injuries need tending. Fall before my time.
Well met. I am a magical projection of Gale of Waterdeep, and if you see this manifestation, that means I have prematurely perished. However, for reasons that cannot be disclosed, it is of vital importance that my death be remedied at your earliest convenience. You may rest assured that I do not speak out of self-preservation alone. Many lives depend on my return to the living within the span of 2 days. I trust I've made myself clear. I have upon my deceased person a magical item that can accomplish my return. But such is the value and rarity that it is protected by a multi-layered security protocol. I will now explain the protocol. Step 1 is to retrieve from my person a pouch I wear over my heart. Next, you must unthread the purple seam that seals it in a counterclockwise fashion. Do not touch any other colored strand. Inside the pouch, you will find a folded letter and a tiny flute. Unfold the letter and note the markings in the top and bottom corners. These are the notes you will need to play. Starting from the bottom right, play the notes in correct order, clockwise this time. Upon completion of the tune, a magma method will appear, which will pose the following question. Iskcha Chisnaga. This is Ignan for what is my name? The answer is Kasitrak Ash. Pronounce the name correctly, and the method will breathe on the letter. Stay clear, because the little scamp can melt metal. Words will now appear on the letter's surface, effectively turning the letter into a scroll of true resurrection. Use it to bring me back to life. I think ingenious is the word you're looking for. Now, repeat my instructions back to me, please. In that case, this will be an easy exercise. Step 1. And next. Right. You then have access to the letter and the flute. Go on. No. You start at the bottom right corner. Remember to play them clockwise. After that... That's not even close. It's Kasi Trach Ash. And pay attention to the Trach part. Yeah, back of the throat. And so we have gone through the necessary steps again. Let's hope practice makes perfect in the end. Best of luck with the protocol. May my cold, dead hands soon be refilled with the warmth of life so they can shake yours in gratitude.
What I wouldn't give for a good rest about now.
Not going to last much longer.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes. take you.
Need healing.
Defender of the people.
The pouch is sealed with differently colored strands of thread. As the purple thread becomes undone, the pouch opens to reveal a letter and flute inside. This is the flute Gale kept on his person. A faint magical aura envelops its wooden surface. The flute awaits with bated breath.
Iskcha cisnaga. Daya zum. Multhamesk. Dinu frantha manthra gale.
My word, you did it! Oh, it's good to be alive. My hands are still cold, so that handshake will have to wait, but in the meantime... Thank you. But a necessary one. Scrolls of true resurrection don't grow on trees, you know. That said, I assume you have some questions for me. Only fair to warn you, I've precious few answers to spare. I apologize if that sounds thankless. It's just that some secrets simply cannot be revealed. I suppose that after all you've done for me, I should be at least a little bit forthcoming. Tell you what, I will answer one question that you may have, to the best of my ability, if I can. When I told you I need powerful magic to keep my condition under control, I didn't tell you why. Well, here's part of the why. I am dangerous. Not because I want to be, but because of an error I made in the past. It makes me dangerous, even in death. You brought me back to life, and for that I am in your debt. But we're surrounded by danger. It could happen again. If it does, bring me back again. You must, for the sake of many.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole. I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zathis purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities. I expect I am your first. Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake. Better is an opinion, but mine is certainly more economical, disciplined, dignified. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore, and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass. I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland. I don't pay compliments. I only say what is true. You've proven me wrong at every turn. You are efficient, dominant, courageous. I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning. When I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hairs stand on end. Isn't it obvious? I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later, but I want it all the same. Do you? I won't be your girlfriend, but I will be your lay. Yes or no? Yes. Perhaps one night soon, I will come to your bunk and take what is mine. Until that night comes, I shall keep enjoying your scent.
Something the matter? Something the matter? Fine. What's on your mind? I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises? Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? Easy is often less interesting. Besides, we've plenty of reason to rely on each other already. You can't confide in just anyone about a monster in your head. Say for a moment that I was. Do you think your blunt approach would get me to confess? Good. I like you. And you did save my life. I wouldn't want to sour things between us. Not while we need each other.
What's on your mind? The instructions were easy enough, weren't they? If slightly elaborate. Like I said, I'm dangerous even in death. I'm merely trying to protect those around me. I find that a healthy amount of theatrics, a voice from the beyond, a magic flute, a friendly, if highly combustible magma method, tends to make for a more compelling case. If nothing else, I'm sure I piqued your curiosity. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. Like I said, I'm dangerous even in death. I'm merely trying to protect those around me.
Speak. If you must know, Vlaakith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted. Can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the Undying Queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be. Say what I must be. To survive every beast I face and every wound I bear.
It is a fitful night, haunted by the bitter memories of the past. Memories of your father, Grand Duke Uldo Ravengard, and his diplomatic mission to Elturel. Memories of the diabolical bargain you made to save Baldur's Gate in his absence. Memories of your father casting you, his Hell's-touched son, out of your beloved city.
My poor little pupster. A free trip on a mind flare machine, and all you've got is a brain bug to show for it. You missed me. How sweet. The best bloodhounds are always the most loyal. Sweet spot you've found for yourself. But I wouldn't get too cozy. After all, we've got a deal.
Another memory seizes your mind. You race through the burning wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, the diabolical figure called Karlach cuts through demonic invaders, her single horn blazing in flame. You are the hunter, and she's your prey.
Wrong on both counts, pet. Karlach's not just the Hell's problem now. She fled Avernus on the same ship you hitched a ride on. Wild little thing. You don't find her and cut her down, she'll burn the whole coast to ash. And I know the famed Blade of Frontiers would never stand for that. I won't lie, pet. You drew a lousy hand. But folding's not an option when your soul's on the line. Good boys get treats. Bad boys? Well, let's not think about that till we need to. Be a good boy. Bring me her head for dessert. I have a sweet tooth. And devils on the menu.
Speak.
Something the matter?
The road to Baldur's Gate is a long one. Who knows how long it'll take these folks to get there on foot.
If they make it. They're slow, vulnerable. Half or more will die long before.
Doesn't seem to trouble you a jot.
What good would it do for me to be trying? We can't save them all.
Need anything else? Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need. Sylvanas be with you.
Please. I've been through enough.
Please.
Yes?
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Made it ready.
I'd die if I met heroic and reeking of this place. I'll never get the smell out of my clothes.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is to run, and run hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me. Do for some salt. You've had your share. Leave some for the rest.
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie.
As you down the potion, a comforting warmth spreads through you.
I swear you're still as peaky looking. Oh, stop! Even on a good day, half the camp acts like a bunch of screaming brats. I'm tempted to smack them all on the backside and tell them to kiss and make up. Not that they'd listen to little old me. Anyway, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Nay, bother.
More
now than ever.
Careful you don't pull a muscle in your haste.